Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my channel. If you missed my starting my sourdough and Walmart delivery order video, in that video I started this, which right now that was yesterday. So if you missed that video, I'm going to quickly just explain what I'm doing here. So I am starting my sourdough journey, and I got a dehydrated sourdough starter from the Sourdough Sparrow, and I just started to rehydrate it yesterday. It has been, what time did I start this yesterday? It has been about 21 hours since I started this, and I am ready to go ahead and move on to my day 2 instructions. So I am going to be rehydrating this starter, and then I plan to use it for hopefully years and years and years and years and years as my sourdough starter for breads of various kinds, and whatever, bread, English muffins, bagels, pancakes, cookies, everything. Okay, so I did order, like I said, I said this yesterday, I was very nervous to start this, and so I knew it was coming in the mail, and I just pulled the trigger and I said, you know what? I wanted to do this year and I hadn't done it yet. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I just need to do it. And so I got this in the mail and yesterday, and I said, you know what? I'm starting it. I don't care that I don't have anything that I need for sourdough. I'm gonna start it, or I never will. So I went ahead and got it started. But today I did place an Amazon order, and I'm gonna post pictures somewhere on the screen of what I ordered. I ordered 2 things just to, I assume, get me started comfortably. So I did buy a sourdough container, and I'll post the picture now somewhere. And you'll see that eventually, because this is all gonna be in one video, but I did order that today and it should be here tomorrow. Because on day 4, I think I'm gonna need to transfer this into its permanent bigger home. And so I needed to get that. And then the other thing that I bought, again, you're gonna see all this in a couple days, but just gonna post it on the screen here so that you can see. It is just kind of a essential sourdough starter bundle. So there are several different things in there, and we'll go through all those together when I get them. But both of those things are gonna be here tomorrow. So we'll go through that together tomorrow, but I did want to tell you, I just ordered that today from Amazon because I was procrastinating because, like I said, sourdough kind of freaks me out. So I am using the instructions here that was sent with the dehydrated starter. And so yesterday, all I did was start the rehydrating process by mixing the dehydrated starter with water and unbleached bread flour. And now I'm moving on to day 2. So here, ooh, that slid and it scared me. All right, so here we go, day 2. After your starter has sat for 18 to 24 hours, remove the lid on your jar and add 2 tablespoons of flour and 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of warm water. The texture should be similar to pancake batter, all right? So we're gonna open this together. I haven't opened it today, and for some reason, I'm one of those people, I like to smell things, so I wanna smell it. I've been thinking about it. I mean, it does kind of have it already does have kind of a sour smell. Let me see if I can show you what it is looking like right now. There aren't any bubbles, which that's not uncommon. It says I really shouldn't get bubbles until possibly tomorrow. And I also mentioned in my video yesterday, if you missed it, we keep our house fairly cold. It's a very cold day here. I don't know if you can see outside, but it is gray and it's kind of snowy, and anyway, yeah, so our house sits anywhere between, yesterday I had the heat on, but it was set on 65 because it wasn't super cold outside, but today I've bumped it up to 68. So our house is sitting at about, I don't know, 67, 68 degrees. I am keeping this in my kitchen, but on an interior wall, so that hopefully it'll stay a little bit warmer. But it does say on here to keep it between 74 and 85 degrees, and that is not the temperature of my house. So if it doesn't get bubbly in the next couple days, there are things in here that I can do. But anyway, let's go ahead and feed it today. Feed my little baby sourdough starter. Okay, so over here you can't see, but I'm gonna try to pull some of it into view. In here, I just have water that I did warm up. I have a thermometer here. I'm gonna check the temperature of my water because I want it to be between 80 and 85 degrees. So let's check it together. Let's stir it around. Okay, so as of right now, I'm a little too warm. I'm at 91 degrees. I'm gonna give it a second because I don't want it to, yeah, I'm gonna give it a second. Okay, so I guess I should have just waited and checked that and then talked to you. But anyway, I'm sure I can fill some more time. So just a quick question. Has anybody decorated for Christmas yet? The day I'm filming this is November 21st. And my family, I would love to decorate right now. My daughter, she would love to decorate. She's already decorated her room. My son, he would love to decorate. My husband is a firm, you decorate after Thanksgiving person. And so the day after Thanksgiving traditionally is when we always decorate. But I made a pillow yesterday. We had a ladies' night at our church and I made a pillow. I'll have to show you. I'll post a picture probably because it's over there and I don't want to go grab it. But that is now setting out in our living room. And then I've got candles burning that are definitely Christmas candles. That is the 'Tis the Season candle from Bath and Body Works. And yeah, so I am definitely already like sprinkling little pieces of Christmas into my house. But yeah, I have my, it's hard to see right here, but this is it's the Beautiful Boards cookbook, and I switch it for like different seasons, but right now, because it's hard to see it because of this cat tree, but I have the turkey board up and I just love it. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna check this water again and see if for any, so we're at 89. I am gonna assume, no, I'm not gonna assume anything. All right, you know what? I'm gonna wait until it's at 85 degrees and then we'll go ahead and do it. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So first of all, I wanted to mention I'm using spring water. That is the water that I'm using. The instructions here said not to use tap water or filtered water. So I'm gonna use spring water, but I think we're right at about the correct temperature. Let's see. Can you see it? Because I can't. All right, let me check now. 85.6. I am happy with that. So here we go, day 2. Had 2 tablespoons of flour. This is the flour I am using. This is the unbleached bread flour. All right, so 2 tablespoons going in. 1. Gotta feed this little guy. Okay, 2. Okay, 2 tablespoons are in. And then it says 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of the water. So I'm gonna move that. Got my water here. I'm gonna start with 1 and then I guess see where we're at, okay? Yesterday I read that you're supposed to use a wooden spoon. I read it after I had already mixed it with a regular spoon, and I did check on Google and it says that that's fine to use stainless steel. You just shouldn't use aluminum. It says it's a myth that you shouldn't use stainless steel to mix. This is still a little thick. I'm gonna kind of show you real quick. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a little thicker than my pancake batter. So I am gonna go ahead and add that second, not a whole tablespoon, half a tablespoon to the starter and continue to mix that. That's better. Like I said, it definitely smells a little sour. Not so much now that I added that extra flour, but this morning when I first took when I just took the lid off, it did. So I still think it's a little thick, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about because I've never done this, but I'm gonna show you. Let me get you close. All right, here's what we got. See? I don't know how to show you. All right, so do we think I should add? I don't know. I'm not adding it. Okay. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about here. All right, sorry, that was probably really loud in your ear. Okay, so fed it, stir to combine, cover with the lid tightly, and let sit on counter another 18 to 24 hours. So back on we go. So here we go. This is going back on the counter, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, we're on to day 3. I'm doing a voiceover because my house was chaotic at this point of my day. But I go ahead and I open this up, and I was just so happy with what I saw. So I do move the camera to show you, but there were so many bubbles, and it does say that you can expect to see some bubbles if everything is going well. So that made me really happy. So I go ahead and do the same process as I did yesterday. I am temperature checking my water here. I'm looking for 80 to 85 degrees, and I'm at about 80.6, and so that's perfect. And I go ahead and I'm adding the 2 tablespoons of unbleached bread flour, and then I'll be adding a tablespoon and a half of the spring water. So I add that flour in, and I'm trying to knock that cat off the counter. I think she heard me bang on the glass jar and thought that it was her dinner time or something, but it was not. So I go ahead and I start here with a tablespoon and a half, just based on my, just based on my results yesterday. I thought that a tablespoon and a half would be what I would probably need. I go ahead and just mix this. Again, I'm still using stainless steel. Obviously, it's not doing anything negative to my sourdough starter, so I'm just going to keep using it. I give this a really thorough mix, and it's still too thick in my opinion. I don't know if I show it to you or not, but it said I wanted the consistency of pancake batter, and this is nothing like pancake batter. It was way too thick. And so I add about another half a tablespoon of water. I'm going rogue at this point. It says to add a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, and I've added 2, but I don't know. My instincts are telling me to add a little bit more. So we'll see if I end up being right, or maybe this is going to be the death of my starter. I don't know. I won't know for a couple days, but I go ahead and give that a mix, and I'm just going to clean that fork off. I show you here what it's looking like, and I'm going to get the lid back on, and I loosely cover it this time just in case. I know it says that you can maybe start to have, it shouldn't bubble over, but just in case I don't tighten it all the way tight. But let's check in on it tomorrow. And now we're on to day 4. And this day, it looked great. It had so many bubbles. It was so encouraging. I just felt like, okay, yes, this is alive. I am doing the right thing, which was funny because this day I was actually extremely busy. I went to a Christmas market with my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, my daughter, and her friend. And then we went to lunch, and then my sister-in-law and I went and did all of our Thanksgiving grocery shopping. And so at this point in the day, it's like 7:30 p.m., which is well over the 18 to 24 hours between feedings. And so I'm thinking, okay, is that going to do anything negative to the starter? But it doesn't. So I obviously now know, because this is a couple days ago that I'm recording this, that nothing bad happened here. So at this point, I am feeding my starter for growth, not just for the rehydration. So I add 2/3 cup of bread flour, and then I'm going to add a half a cup of the 80 to 85 degree spring water. And then I'm going to mix it, and I want it to be thicker this time than I have been making it in the past. So I go ahead and do that. And this is where, like I said, I start to get kind of confused from this day on, and I decided I'm just going to end this video with just the process of rehydrating the starter instead of continuing on, because I got kind of confused at this point. I'm trying to learn what I need to feed the starter every day how I need to feed it to maintain it, how I need to feed it to bake with it. And as we are speaking now, as I am speaking now, I guess I should say, I currently have my first sourdough bread recipe rising, and I decided to make bagels for my first recipe. So it just seemed a little less intimidating, believe it or not, because the timeline was a little shorter and it was a little more, there weren't stretch and folds, and there weren't, it wasn't like, okay, every 30 minutes for, 2 hours, you need to do a stretch and fold and you need to do that. No, it was like the night before, you need to make your dough and then let it ferment overnight. And then the next day, you need to just shape them, let them rise again, and then bake them, after you boil them. So it was a lot more straightforward. And I decided that was going to be my first recipe that I tried. I do want to eventually share with you me making something with it, because I just want to. So I think I'm going to share a bread recipe once I get the hang of it a little bit more. But at the moment, I think this is where I'm going to be ending this. But my sourdough starter is alive and well. I'm learning how to feed it for, baking and all that stuff. And this just shows you, this was 2 hours later. And look at it. It had already almost doubled in size. It is doing so well. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching this process. It was fun for me, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone.